Welcome to Effective Note-Taking Strategies. Do you try to capture everything your professor says? Are your notes messy and disorganized? Are you unable to read your own notes later? Do you plan to use your laptop to take notes but end up surfing the internet? Note-taking is one of the most important skills needed in college. However, many students struggle when taking notes and end up frustrated when it's time to study. Let's begin by focusing on organization. There are several ways to organize your notes, and they all help by making your notes visually appealing, easy to understand, and a more effective study aid. The 4 types of note-taking include the Cornell Method, the Outline Method, the Mapping Method, and the Charting Method. In the Cornell Method, notes are separated into 3 sections: questions, notes, and summary. Doing this makes recording your lecture, asking questions, and reviewing your information a lot easier. Start by formatting your page. Draw a vertical line about 1/3 from the left of the page. Draw a horizontal line about 1/4 from the bottom of the page. The page now has a place for your questions, notes, and summary. The largest section is the note-taking side. This is where you will record the lecture in short, concise sentences. Make sure that the notes highlight the key points in the lecture. Remember, focus on covering the information that your instructor emphasizes. Now that you've recorded your lecture notes, you're ready to formulate questions or cues. Writing questions helps to solidify definitions, understand relationships, and increase the chances of memorizing the material. Review your notes outside of class and write cues related to the material in the leftmost column on the page. You'll use these cues to direct your studying. Cover the note-taking section with a sheet of paper. Using the cues, answer the questions you've generated either aloud or in writing. Regular and repeated recitation of notes is the most important step to avoid forgetting. Next, reflect on what you have learned by asking yourself why the facts you are learning are important and how these newly learned principles are applicable. Write a summary or reflection in the section below the notes on your page. Doing this helps you gauge whether you truly understand the material. Dedicate some time to reviewing your notes every week. The best way to review information in the Cornell format is to repeat the recitation step. If you recite something correctly, move on to the next main idea. If something is not recalled correctly, read the question and answer aloud until you think you can recite it from memory. Review the I don't know it material every other day and the learned material every 2 to 3 days. Now that you know how to use the Cornell Method, prepare your notebook or binder prior to the lecture. Then make sure to attend class and actively listen to record the most significant parts of the material. The next type of note-taking is the Outline Method. This way to format your notes helps you to understand how ideas relate to one another. Outlining is effective because it separates main ideas from details and is a great way to condense both lecture and textbook material. When creating an outline, designate main ideas using large Roman numerals. Look for details under each main idea and identify them in your outline with a hierarchy of upper and lowercase letters, numbers, or bullet points. Use indentations to indicate relationships between one piece of information and another. Don't worry about trying to perfectly outline during the lecture. Instead, try rewriting notes after the lecture. That way, you can create a clean outline and commit the information to memory. The next type of note-taking is the Mapping Method. This method allows you to organize your notes and associate specific details with main ideas in a very visually appealing manner. To create a map, first place the main idea in the center of the page, and then connect specific ideas that relate to the main topic. Continue identifying details for these supporting ideas until all details are connected and relationships are established in a diagram. You can use pictures and color to emphasize categories and relationships. By visually tracking the material, it becomes easy to see relationships when you are reviewing your notes after the lecture. When reviewing mapped notes, Test your memory by trying to recall information and connections, or by redrawing the map from memory. For additional practice, you can write the main points on a flashcard or create a chart with more information. The charting method is another note-taking technique you can use to review lecture notes after class. Charts are ideal when you have lots of information that can be organized in categories. To create a chart, determine the categories relevant to the material, draw multiple columns on your paper, add the category headings, and record the information in the appropriate category. Charts allow you to simplify your notes, focusing on the most important concepts. They are an excellent tool for reviewing facts, relationships, and comparisons. To review your notes, you can redraw the chart and sort out the concepts into their respective categories without looking at the original chart. Repeat on a regular basis until you master the concepts. If you try a few of these methods at the beginning of the semester, you will understand how to use them before becoming overwhelmed with course materials. Then, make it your habit when taking notes and put yourself on a path for success. If you need additional support with study skills and test preparation, or your academic success at UCF, please come to SARC. Visit our website to explore free handouts, self-help tools, and to review our most current academic support programming schedules.